This morning, Harvey Weinstein unapologetic in a shocking new interview with the New York Post, asking the world to remember him for all the good he's done for women over the course of his career, not for the rape and sexual assault accusations against him, saying, "My work has been forgotten." The disgraced Hollywood producer insisting, "I made more movies directed by women and about women than any filmmaker. And I'm talking about 30 years ago. I'm not talking about now when it's vogue. I did it first. I pioneered it. It all got eviscerated because of what happened." What happened was that more than 80 women accused Weinstein of a variety of sexual misconduct, including harassment, sexual assault, and rape. Overnight, 23 of those women issuing a statement in response to Weinstein's interview. Harvey Weinstein is trying to gaslight society again, they write in part, adding, he says in a new interview he doesn't want to be forgotten. Well, he won't be. He will be remembered as a sexual predator and an unrepentant abuser who took everything and deserves nothing. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow has said the former studio head tried to sexually assault her when she was 22. But in the new interview, Weinstein says he advanced her career, paying her top dollar to star in a film. She was the highest paid female actor in an independent film, higher paid than all the men. Paltrow's representatives say she has no comment. The New York Post says Weinstein refused to speak specifically about the allegations against him. He has previously said any sexual encounters were consensual, and he's pleaded not guilty to the 5 sexual assault and rape charges he's facing. Weinstein also told the Post he wanted to prove that he wasn't exaggerating about his health condition. Last Thursday, he underwent an operation on his back. Earlier this month, he was seen arriving at court using a walker, complete with tennis ball sliders. Last week, NBC News reported Weinstein reached a potential $25 million deal to settle civil cases with more than 30 accusers.
And right back here, Harvey, if you don't mind.
Under that tentative agreement, Weinstein would not admit any wrongdoing, and he wouldn't pay accusers out of his own pocket. A statement last night from an attorney for 3 accusers calls the potential settlement inadequate and paltry and calls Weinstein's new interview a public relations stunt. But Weinstein insists his life's work is greater than the allegations against him. "I want this city to recognize who I was instead of what I've become."
The Post reports Weinstein was released from the hospital yesterday. Last week, a judge doubled his bail after prosecutors said he tampered, remember this, with his ankle bracelet more than 50 times.
This interview, I think I read it, got pretty testy.
The Post says that Weinstein was a bully, threatening to terminate the sit-down every time they would ask him a tough question that he didn't like, threatening to leave and walk out. They describe him as whining and being, again, bullying them.
Well, criminal trial is yet to come. We'll see what happens. Kate, thanks.